Just the words Common Core upset some across the country, concerned about the federal government getting involved in local education standards. And while some are putting up a political fight, school districts are getting ready to roll out new tests based on the Common Core standards. Melissa Braun and Jill Carter are so concerned about Common Core, they've organized public meetings and even considered homeschooling.
Common Core is just going to take away from our children. It's going to dumb down our system.
Common Core assessment sets standards for all children learning in the U.S. Teachers say here in the 4 states that can be a positive.
Here at Southwest Missouri, we have students coming from Oklahoma all the time. We have students coming from Arkansas or Kansas. And so in my classroom, if I have the students in Kansas and Oklahoma moving into Joplin and their teachers are teaching the same thing the same year, it's a much smoother process than if their kid is coming from Kansas and maybe they're farther ahead, or the kid from, Oklahoma is not as far.
Joplin teachers and area administrators say Common Core creates a more challenging approach to measuring what students have learned, and they're getting ready for it to be part of state assessments.
In Common Core, of course, they have to think critically. They have to answer multi-step questions. So I just think it's a step up. And the map is already rigorous compared to other states testing. So I think we'll do just fine. I really do.
We've stopped focusing on the MAP test, and the preparation that we're doing now with our students is about preparing them for what's coming next, which is a much more rigorous, much more challenging test.
Problem solving.
The student is asked to pull resources together in order to answer the questions. They're asked to explain, to demonstrate, to synthesize the information prior to answering their question, providing the proof as to why they came to that summary.
Neosho aligned its curriculum to Common Core 3 years ago and has seen good results. Several area school districts transitioned to Common Core aligned standards in communication arts. Math is a slower change because some standards switched grade levels.
So for the most part, we have moved to the new standards. We just have identified the previous standards that are still being assessed, and we're making sure that we're still incorporating those alongside or with the new standards.
Cost for how many pieces, guys?
Money matters, and word problems make math more than equations. It's part of teaching Common Core in the classroom.
Dollar value. They've really upped the reading level that students need to be able to process. As far as, it's kind of like I look at myself, I'm a math teacher. I do the math. That's what I like. I like numbers. But I'm going to have to do a lot more word problem reading. Even student writing, I've incorporated more this year, of students explaining how'd you get this answer.
Missouri state leaders say it's a change in teaching style, not content.
By law, we can't mandate a curriculum. Each school district sets its own curriculum. It sets its own learning activities, and it's about professional development of teachers, about these are the learning standards against which our students will be measured. And we've been doing that for years now.
Common Core opponents worry it allows for collection of student data because tests come from contracted national companies, not developed at the local level, and they're taken online.
The U.S. Department of Education having access to individual student data and their evaluation, the teachers' evaluations being based on the assessments that the students take.
State education officials say not true.
We do not give information, individually identifiable information, to anybody.
Except when it comes to parents. Dr. Langford says that's how a parent can know if his or her school district is doing right by their child. District officials say data is what they need in order to see where a child needs help. It's that same data that can show parents if their child is improving and learning by Common Core standards or the district's own. Lisa Oligas, KOAM News.